You okay with Channel 4? Channel 4 leading it off just because he's kind of a do-it-all. Carrying the camera, man, he's got the whole deal.
Jake is a one-man band.
He's in charge of content, everything. You don't want me to hold it?
I got it, Coach.
Does it all. You don't just flip around and answer the question.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Rob, go ahead and start.
Hey, that's the last time now. It's like when you put a guy in, if he's looking for his helmet, you take him out, right? If you've got the first question all ready to go, am I right?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Jake, I'm sorry, man. I don't know if I've ever really met you much. Have I?
Just
on the radio.
Like this, just on the radio mostly.
Almost always. Have we ever met before?
Not officially, like just talking outside of an interview.
Coach, I was wondering about the kicking competition. How's that going?
Wait a second now.
I thought
you lost. You couldn't find your helmet. You couldn't find your helmet. We put the next guy in.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, go ahead.
Early on, looks like a lot of different options at nickel. Give us your thoughts on that position at this point.
Nickel's kind of like quarterback in that it is legitimate options, and somebody has to step up and win it. You know, Cam Miller's out there, AJ Greeley, Mike Sewell, maybe the standpoint of improving the most. You know, Mike Sewell came in last year as a junior college transfer, never really got going, you know, just different things, never really got in the rhythm. Came in, had a shoulder injury when he came in, was never able to get bigger, stronger. This was really Mike's first off season, and you can see the difference in his body type. You can see the difference in his strength. That's three. And then Patrick Peak, who just arrived here at the start of practice, is a guy that's really a good football player. He's just a little bit behind. So there's four of them. We can always move Nico Bolden there. You know, Nico's playing at safety. You know, what we do is, you know, Jordan Peterson coaches the safeties and the nickels, so they're somewhat interchangeable. You know, once we get to the season and we kind of determine who our best five guys are. So it's kind of a lot of competition at nickel, but it's also a competition of who our best five guys are to put out there.
Remind me, how long has Cam been at that position? Was he there in the spring?
Yeah. High school quarterback, as you know.
Yes.
Yeah, Shelley has gotten, really with all of our specialists, if you go back and look over the past several years, including Jason Sanders and Corey Borquez, they've all improved their body since the moment they walked on this campus and increased their conditioning and their overall strength. And Andrew Shelley's a guy that's an exact example of that. You know, he looks like a different guy out here. And he is right in the middle of it. He's right in the middle of the competition. So he's strong enough now. He's seasoned enough in practice. We just need to continue to put guys in pressure situations, and that's what he needs. But he needs to take advantage of being put in that pressure situation. You can't be the one called in the game and you don't have your helmet on, and then all of a sudden you can't find your helmet when you're called in there, right? You go to the next guy, right?
Sir? so
you listen to what I'm saying.
I hear you.
You just had that lesson.
Well, just for the record, I told Rob to go first because I was getting the camera adjusted. Just so you know.
He did, and I didn't want to step on his toes.
Just so you know.
Yep.
But Sutton, a guy coming in from another school, how comfortable does he seem right now with the amount of time he's been here?
Not real comfortable, based on results. I think kickoff-wise, without a doubt. You know, Danny Sutton looks like he's got a great opportunity to be our kickoff man. But just back to the way I answered that question, with field goals, right now I don't feel anybody is capable of going out there and kicking a field goal. Danny's done it. He's the more experienced guy. But with Andrew Shelley, Stephen Ruiz, you know, there's competition there, but the competition needs to go to a higher level on field goals.
I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right, Tayton, number 50 from Valley. He's a guy that's had to really test perseverance, redshirting, and then last year missing a lot of action. How has he jumped into things in the spring and in the fall now?
Yeah, Teton is a unique individual. You know, he came here as a defensive lineman that hadn't played a lot of high school football. You know, he actually was more of a basketball player until about his sophomore year. So very raw when it came to college football. Came here as a defensive lineman, played his whole first year, his redshirt year, as a defensive end. Then the next season, this time a year ago in training camp, we moved him to offensive tackle. By the third game of the year, he's starting at offensive tackle. Play Fresno, second play of the game, Teton goes down with a knee injury, misses the rest of the season. But if you know Teton and you know Teton's family and you know his story, overcoming adversity is what he is built for and what he's been raised to do. You know, he spends every minute he has back on the reservation in South Dakota. His family actually moved back to the reservation from Albuquerque when Teton graduated or from high school. And it's a remarkable story. You know, we don't have time to go into it right now, but no, he's geared to overcome adversity. And he's in a great position right now to I think, have a breakout redshirt sophomore season, and we need him to.
Coach, with the changes offensively, what kind of tempo do you want to have?
We're going to be as fast as we want to be when we want to really be fast. You know, like everybody now in college football, you know, the tempo thing. I read a great article, and I read it to our team probably 3 or 4 days ago about the whole craze of fast tempo offense. You know, everybody's up there at the line. Most people now are up at the line to look like or be in a position where they're going to snap the ball, so the defense has to be ready. But they normally look over and take their time at the line to get in the perfect play against the defense. Not as many are just racing up there, snapping it, and running the play regardless of what the defense is in, the true fast tempo. And there was an article written about the reason that's happened probably is because the true pioneers of the spreads, the Chip Kelly, the Rich Rodriguez, most guys having done it are followers of those guys that have done it. At some point you run out of the answers for everything if you're kind of new to it. And I explained to our team, like Calvin McGee's been with Rich Rodriguez for 16 years. So we're fortunate that we do have a guy that was a pioneer in that stuff. So all tempos will be in play for us. We will be able to go as fast as we want to go. But we're also able to switch it. But the way we practice and the way we do things, you know, that's a big part of everything we're doing now, without a doubt. But it's more than just saying, you know, we've dabbled in going fast before, just like everything. We've had it. But it really, from your verbiage to the way you practice, to the formations you line up, to substitution, if you're going to do it, everything has to be aligned. I'm talking about every single thing, your off-season program all the way through. And we've made the commitment to do that. But we will still use at our discretion. You know, we beat Tulsa last year by staying in a huddle until there were 3 seconds left and snapping the ball at 2 or 3 seconds because they have an explosive offense. It was 100 degrees. It was an afternoon game. We're never going to abandon our ability to do whatever it takes based on our matchups to do what we have to do, if that makes sense.
Well, along the lines of the offense, it might be that your team will, you know, reveal itself to you, but we know how good this offense was in terms of running the ball last year at Arizona, in terms of what Coach McGee did. Would it be your preference to still be a top 5 rushing team, or would you rather be at the line of scrimmage and have it 50-50 pass run every play and have the defense be, you know, on its heels that way?
Yeah, I mean, obviously any coach would rather be 50-50. I would have rather been 50-50 as we were running triple and have the same results. It's just for us to be 50-50, the way we were geared and who our quarterbacks were and the way we practiced. If we were 50-50, we were in trouble. So you want to be able to control the 50-50. But let's be honest, if you're out there and you can run the ball, I don't care if it's 90-10 as long as it's successful. So, you know, it all depends on what you have to do to win the game, if that makes sense. You know, I feel like we're, hopefully, you know, we're in a better position now to be 75-25 or 60-40 as we go. You know, I don't know that we're ever going to be 50-50, but we're in a better position if we have to be 65-35 to do it. Okay? All right, guys, we good, man?